for the Nevermore narrative with your host, Count David von Ravenstein.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nevermore narrative, season 1, episode. What episode are we on, Josh?
Fucking no clue, dude.
Episode, etc.
Yeah,
Season 1.
the Edgar Cayce episode and the Kato episode.
Yes, Kato the Medium. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I shared this on one page. I'm just sharing. Everybody go about your business.
thank you guys for joining us tonight. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing?
Fan-freaking-tastic, man.
Quarantine day 5004 or something like that,
Feels
right?
like forever.
It feels like it, right? Doesn't it feel like it's been more than just 1 month?
I feel like March was like 159 days, and then April is like, oh my gosh, I feel like it's going by so quickly for some reason. I don't know.
You feel like April's going
What?
fast?
It's all a blur, kind of, yeah. I won't know till the end of the month exactly how I feel about it, but for right now, it's kind of going quickly for me. But then I don't know. Don't ask questions, for sure. Yeah. It's all, yeah, for me, it's going a little fast. How about you guys? No, it's just dragging on. Well, do you have things to keep you busy during quarantine? Because that is huge right now.
I gotta work.
Me too. Today's my only day off. I had so much to do today.
Oh, today was your day off?
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you do on your spare time?
I put together an AR today. That's what I did today.
Oh, well, that's productive. You know,
Yeah.
You might need that. You never know.
Oh, that's great. I got to protect my toilet paper.
Exactly.
I gotta protect my toilet paper. Yeah, then you gotta also be able to fight all the grandmas for all the other toilet paper that's out there.
Right?
Okay, it's shared. Ta-da. Welcome, everybody. I think I've shared it to my thing.
It looks like it.
Ta-da!
Angie, Alexa. I said, yeah. All right. So, Kato, let's start by talking to you first. I think that's good, right? Before diving into the Edgar Cayce stuff.
Perfect.
I was kind of figuring out, trying what we should do. Cayce or get into her. Let's go. Good. Kato, what's up?
Okay. Whatever. However you guys want to start. You tell me.
Well, I was going to ask, okay, so you're a medium and a psychic?
Yes, so I'm actually both. So this means that I not only have the ability to communicate with your loved ones that have crossed over onto the other side, but I'm also a psychic, which means that upon meeting you or beginning to channel you, I can read things about your energy, your current life, past lives, your determined future, these types of things. So I can kind of, I can pretty much do both.
Okay.
So, how'd you know that you had this skill? What got you into it?
So, okay, so my story's a little more drastic because everyone wants to hear that you've known that you've been different since, birth, and your life has always been guided by dead people in the shadows, and it really hasn't. I had absolutely very little inclination to positively say, hey, you can talk to dead people. Until I was about 24, all this started. I actually had a kid, and your body has to go through all kinds of changes to do that, right? And after that, I just was very... Honestly, it was almost like postpartum depression and then finding my own way to cope with it. And for example, it's not all rainbows and butterflies when you do discover 24 years in that you can talk to the other side, right? So when I discovered that I could communicate with the other side, it was a very terrifying and very scary experience at first. But I actually sought out a fellow psychic myself, and she guided me to basically the point that I am today and helped me get through some things. So psychics are really beneficial for, yes, telling you your future, but also really good therapy. And then when I first found out I was psychic, I sought psychic guidance for it. So I had that help along the way. It was kind of cool.
That's crazy. So it just started up out of nowhere?
Yeah, it started up out of nowhere. I always thought maybe it was real because I was one of those people that saw dark shadows out of the corners of my eyes every once in a while.
Were you getting enough sleep?
Right? I was getting enough sleep. I'm actually a good sleeper. I'm one of those, you guys will all hate me after this. I'm one of those people that the second I hit the pillow, I am dead sleep until the morning. And it feels just wonderful. But at the time where what I was going through and everything that was happening in my life, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I talk to dead people, which is something that makes you feel crazy all in its own. I probably wasn't getting the sleep that I needed and definitely contributed to the extremes of it. But for the most part, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Most people expect like butterflies and like an invitation to Hogwarts. You want a fucking owl to come through your front door, and shit don't happen like that. You just go into it, and it is what it is.
There's
I
so many
guess.
things that you mentioned that I want to talk about. I mean, even like
Okay, go.
past lives and shit like that. Like that kind of stuff's
Yeah.
always interested me. So
Okay. Okay,
what
go.
like what do you? So this whole it's reincarnation, right? Is that really what it is, or is there a
Okay,
different?
so
Is a different way of? Go ahead.
Here's how I'm going to explain it to you, okay? And let's all use our imaginations and we'll do it together. Here's what I think happens to your energy, physical body, etc. when you die. I'm going to just explain it to everybody that's listening. So we're going to use our imaginations real quick, and we're going to use this pen just because we have a lack of a better tool, right? And we're going to call this the branch of life. It's actually called the universal life force energy, but that's a very long word, and branch of life is much easier. So this is the branch of life. It actually goes on forever, and it's not actually only 4 inches long. It actually goes on for miles and miles, and everybody's connected to it, okay? So long story short, branch of life. Ready? So, suspended from this branch of life, just bear with me, it all makes sense in the end. Suspended from this branch of life, you have a cocoon. And another word for this cocoon is called your aura. Have you ever heard that word?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So your aura is like your energy bubble that surrounds your body. It's the vibrations you give off. It's basically your juju. So suspended from that branch, you have a cocoon known as an aura. And down the center of that aura, you have 7 different points of energy called chakras. Now, this aura and these chakras, hold on 1 second.
Well,
There are actually cameras. There are actually cameras that take pictures of these, and this is mine from just 2 years ago. I did one 2 weeks ago. It looks exactly the same. So anyways, here's a visual. You have an
I've seen
aura.
those before, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
You have an aura that surrounds your physical body and 7 different energy points down the center called chakras. This controls everything emotional about you, okay? It's almost as if it's like the USB that re-downloads into your computer. Okay, so now pause right there, okay? So you have your energy body, which is your aura and your chakras, right? Now you have something different called your physical body. That's what you were born with. You had, that's the physical body you were given to get through this lifetime. And I chose my physical body just like the 3 of you chose your physical body. Now here's how you do it.
Jesus.
You go like
David,
this.
you chose that?
Here's
You
exactly.
chose
I chose
poorly.
it the exact same way you guys did, and here's exactly how it went. It went like this. Do 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 ding, and this is what you get, right? So then the universe does this because it's got just a badass sense of humor. It goes, all right, here's your vessel. Maximum, if you take perfect care of it, you drink just enough water, you don't know how much, and you eat just enough salads, you don't know how many, you get a maximum of 100 years in this physical body, whichever random one you get, right? Okay, so you go through life with your aura you can't see. Does it exist? Does it not? Who knows? What book should we all read? Oh my gosh, what's the meaning to life, right? Okay, so you go through your physical life, la-di-da-di-da, experience your trauma, experience other people, understand why you're there, what your purpose is, just find your meaning, right? And then, oh my God, a day 101, you're going to clock out any minute, right? Day 102, your time is coming. You've run your physical body out. It's not possible to keep going. So what happens is is very similar to what happens in nature, because if you think about it, and you take away the clothes that we're wearing and the books that we read and the cars that we drive and the houses that we live in and all the stuff that mankind brings to us, simply your physical body dies, it sheds, it goes back into the earth, feeds all the other critters, right? I mean, why are we privileged? We're just like nature. So it goes back into earth, feeds the other critters, and then you're left with this. Oh my God, what the fuck happens to me now? Well, what happens is exactly this. Your physical body goes whoop, crisp off, right? It's done. You've used it to the extent that you can use it for. And now what happens is your energy goes whoop, and it re-downloads into the universal energy life force where you can stay until your kids are on the other side, until your kids' move on. And then when you're all up here and you have your soul family ready to go, okay, is everybody accounted for? We're going to go find each other in another life. You simply re-download this same exact energy into another physical body, and you go through another lifetime. Now, this process of living a whole entire life and death, and then re-downloading, living a whole entire life, death, re-downloading, you have to do this 7 different times in order to be considered an old soul. And I think now, top left corner with the mustache, the one right next to me, you have 11 lifetimes. Hi, you. You have 11 lifetimes. So
How does
you've
he get
been
11?
through what?
How does he get? Why did he get 11?
I
What's so
only
special
had
about him?
7. What the fuck happened there?
Oh my gosh, well, we can get to everybody. It's okay, gentlemen. But does that make sense to everybody? Like, explain
Yeah.
it like you're 4 and it's like...
I just want to
Yes.
know. I just want to know one thing. So, does
Yeah.
this only relate to humans? Like, do we come back the second time as a different being, or do we come back as a human every time?
So here's something that really got me thinking. One time I was told that So I think that you can choose to reincarnate based on, for example, I was born a healer and my lifetime was meant to live through and help people get through the coronavirus and different things throughout my lifetime. So if you come back for a different purpose, you might choose, well, if my purpose is to comfort people, to love people, I don't really need to be there that long. I just really want to be there while my brother's there, from my past lifetime. Maybe you come back as a dog and reincarnate as a dog. So I think personally that there's a choice system involved with it. I don't think it's predetermined unless you're an asshole. Then I hope you probably come back as like a mosquito or something. But
Damn, David, that's what your future
otherwise-
looks like? Fucking mosquito.
I was gonna
So-
say, man, like I'm tired of living, man. Like I'm gonna have to live again. Fuck.
As far as, well, you can choose, like, to stay up there. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, now that I know, I am not doing another lifetime.
Not
But sure
coming
as
back.
hell, my
I'm
kid's going to look at me and be like, Mom. And I'll be like, oh, no, here we go again. So you never know. Who knows? Who knows? So, yeah, did that make sense to everybody? George,
Yeah,
you
it
look
did.
a little like
No, I'm good.
right now. You're good?
Good.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. Everybody's good. Okay, what else you guys got?
So why is Josh so special?
I don't know.
David.
I was just looking at his energy while I was channeling those things.
So what does this do to you? So, a lot of people ask you to read them, right? Who they are and stuff
Yeah.
like that. What does that do for
Probably really draining.
internalizing it? I mean, so you know about yourself that much?
Right.
Right.
I know about my own energy in order to be able to not retain other people's energy that I channel and give readings to. Is that kind of what you're asking me?
Yeah, exactly.
That was really hard at first because I believe I'm a huge believer on the fact that that a lot of people can be intuitive, and like 80% of us are. It's just how you're intuitive in your own unique way, and whatever your ability is, there's always that ability to strengthen that, like think of it as a muscle and work on it. So when it's something you first tap into, or something when I first had tapped into it, I began being really tired. I would go through like the emotional woes that was holding in energy, and over just trial and error of doing nothing but working on it and strengthening that muscle for over a year, I'm pretty good at taking it in and then instantly releasing it. But I also teach like Reiki energy healing, which is how to use the energy that's already around us, channel it through your aura to like heal and direct energy to heal. But yeah, long story short, I have this wonderful self-grounding technique, and you don't need any tools to do it. You actually just imagine that when you're feeling overwhelmed, you feel like you have a lot of people's energy on you that's like stagnant or no longer serves you, or maybe that's what's like making you be an a-hole at the end of the day. You never know. So what I like to do is pretend that I'm a filthy toilet, and I go like this, literally. Sometimes you have to stop and be like, knock it off, you nasty fucking toilet. We need to flush. Like, honestly, sometimes you got to talk to yourself like that. Here we go. So you pretend like you're a toilet. This is the toilet seat where all the crap goes, right? And you start here and you hit the flusher, and you imagine, yeah, I know, George, take it in. Okay, so you imagine this water circulate. The guys are like, we shit like 10 times a day. This makes so much sense. I understand where you're coming from. Okay, so you imagine this water in a clockwise motion working down the tank, working around the bowl, underneath the lid, however long it takes till you build up all that crap to one segregated area, right? You get it all ready to go, and then you flush it out your feet, and that's actually a grounding technique that you can use to flush out and rebalance your own aura.
Do you have to imagine yourself as a toilet? Can I imagine like something else? Like,
I highly recommend a toilet just because the example purposes. But if you want to let your freak flag fly, David, and imagine that you are whatever you want to be, absolutely go for it. No limits on your imagination. Stay safe.
So Kato, we're in a little bit, Kato. I don't know if we're ever going to get to Edgar Cayce, honestly, because
I kind of don't
a lot
want
more
to.
interesting.
She's so interesting. Yeah.
But let me ask you, Edgar Cayce was known as a Christian primarily, right? Big time Christian. Clairvoyant. Also talked about the other side, a lot of that stuff too. So where do your beliefs lie with that, and where do you feel that fits into, like the universe?
Okay, so I believe that before there was a giant book made and labeled Christian, that it was much more broad and based off of, our own instincts, which is where clairvoyance, clairaudience, all that stuff comes from. They weren't just stories that were written down and put in there. And let it be known that it is actually considered Reiki, or the laying of the hands, that Jesus is known to heal the masses with, and Reiki is incorporated into many different religions. And there's so much truth in so many different kinds of religion. I think it's an absolute shame to put one book in front of your face and there's no other reality other than something someone else printed. I believe that it's so important to listen to your inner compass and just allow, there's a lot of people in this world. Yeah. Everyone just needs to follow their own higher purpose in their own path, because we're all different. So I am non-denominational. I am accepting of absolutely everything. And for the people that want to be stuck on one particular thing, whatever they label it, I think that would be a shame to limit your own mind like that.
Nice. I like that.
Very admirable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I found Kato. I don't remember how I found Kato, actually. I think it was just through some friends. I friend requested you on Facebook, and then started watching some of your live streams. So tell us a little bit about your channel and stuff like that. Do you do readings for people watching?
So here's what I do. Actually, I've been live like almost every day for 2 weeks, but here's what I try to do every single Wednesday and pretty much every other or every single Sunday. I go live and I offer, sometimes we'll do mediumship readings where you'll send a picture of your loved one on the other side that you would like to connect with, and all it takes is me looking at a photo to transfer their image to my clairvoyant mind and start communicating with them. But what I do is, whether it's mediumship, psychic readings, whatever happens, nothing is predetermined. I am just live, available, open to the public, absolutely free on Wednesdays, Sundays. Anytime I'm ever live, it's absolutely free. Okay, so I am somebody that's more like, hey, you guys, the world needs to wake up and realize that we can all make a difference, and everybody has a little bit of magic in them, right? Oh. As opposed to like, here, let's rake in all these dollars and see how many people I could fuck over that miss their loved ones.
You don't want to be a Miss Cleo, you know what I mean?
Right. I just would hate to. I would just hate to misinterpret. So I'm all about, yes, I can talk to the other side, but yes, I also want to show you where your power is and like how to reach it. So
we have a bunch of people in chat, but I might skip somebody. I'm just gonna ask you real quick if you can.
Okay, go.
So my sister, she was in chat. And my sister's always been that person in our family to kind of usher people to the other side, right? She always knows when somebody's going to die. And then she goes like with my uncle is about to die. She went to see him in South Carolina and like talked to him, calmed him down, and he passed. You know what I mean? That's always like the type of person she's been.
She kill him?
But no, no, she was comforting him. But she was there. So she actually wasn't there for her ex, my nephew's father, when he passed away pretty recent, like this last year.
Hold on. Give me your sister's first name.
Jessica.
Do you know her birthday? What's her birthday?
1/28/87. January 28th, 1987.
Okay, she's an Aquarius. Hold on.
I can find a picture of him.
Nope, that's totally fine.
She's got this.
He passed away of something of the heart and lungs, right? He makes my heartbeat start really fast. So it's medically, and he was being taken care of right at the end. Now, was he in his own home at the end of his life?
Are you talking about my uncle or my uncle?
I'm talking about whoever your sister went to go visit.
Yes, that was my uncle.
And he was being taken care of in his own home and passed something medically, probably something of the heart. It's almost like something that kind of worked through it. He was having difficulty walking. He shows me stiffness in the knees, so he was probably bedbound and probably couldn't hear a lot right toward the end of his life, right? Overwhelmed by something in the chest.
Jessica, you're going to have to answer in chat.
Jessica, you're going to have to answer in chat.
Yeah,
anyways, the answer to your question is your sister, because I know you're asking questions about loved ones on the other side, but the biggest thing that's standing out to me is the fact that you already basically had even said it yourself. Your sister is a shamanic healer, so most likely, here's my aura color. It's bright yellow and orange, which means I'm fucking upbeat and light up people's world and tell them all kinds of bunch of fun fucking information. And your sister's aura is bright green, which means out of all the people in the world, she is labeled, like when she her energy is labeled, okay, you are a healer energy. You are going to go forward and help others cross over, and this is going to be your purpose in life. So, like, for example, a lot of people are not exposed to death. Like, how many dying people have you been around? A lot of people are like, well, maybe my grandma when I was super little. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But some people are regularly exposed to death, which shows you that they have a higher purpose in this area. Another thing is, first of all, I feel like this male is okay on the other side. Did he have little glasses dents? Did he have glasses that he couldn't wear at the end of his life, but he had little glasses dents?
Yeah, he always wore like Oakleys all the time. But I think, so you're right. She responded in chat. She's saying yes. So I think she was asking, the reason why I was confused, she was asking about her ex-husband, I was asking about her ex-husband, not about my uncle. But you were leading into it. You're seeing my uncle, not her ex.
Well, the ex-husband passed very suddenly and unexpectedly, correct?
Yeah.
And then that's why she wasn't able to say goodbye in the end, correct? Okay, pause. First of all, before she went and visited this guy that's at home on hospice with the glasses indents, she actually had dream premonitions where it was like she'd wake up and she'd be like, oh my God, someone's telling me to go visit him and I can't deny this and that's why I have to go. So she was actually getting visions in her dreams. She was actually using her clairvoyant ability in her dreams. Okay, now, does the ex-husband, does he have darker hair?
Yeah.
And a common name? Simple.
Zach.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
And I feel, okay, now he's going like this. So was it some sort of collision or he just stopped?
He was walking on the side of the road, got hit by a car.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Okay. So he wants it known because she blames herself for not being there. She tells herself if she would have done this, and this differently, he might still be alive. And he's saying, horseshit. The only way you weren't getting your hands on it and the only way that you were going to be okay with it is if you were separated from the situation, which is telling me that he is happy that if it had to happen, at least it was away from her. So she didn't have to go. They're together. They were together all the time. They go through everything constantly together. And she has too big of a heart to be exposed to sudden, brutal death like that. She is someone that needs to not experience that trauma so she can keep helping souls and not have that huge roadblock of trauma in her way, because that would stop her from being able to, peacefully help souls onto the other side. Plus, and he's like going off. He goes, and tell him that if she would have seen me like that it would have changed her life and never been the same, and I'd have regretted it. So she has some serious regret for not being able to say goodbye to this guy, and he says no. He just calls bullshit, says no. Nope. Mm-mm.
All right.
Whew. Don't even get them started.
Dang. Yeah, you hit a bunch of those things. She was responding to me personally, and she was like, geez. Like, yeah, a bunch of the stuff you were hitting. Dang.
Okay, great. Fabulous. Shit. It's like I talk to dead people or something. It just happens.
Weird. It's like you have a gift.
So let me ask you, you never get creeped out? Because
Okay,
I get
so
creeped out
here's
all
the
time.
thing. Yeah, because you sense things. Okay, so here's what you probably do, Josh. You probably watch Ghost Adventures way too close to bed. And then you probably get yourself nice and hyped, and it's harder to go to bed, right? And then it's like, oh, something's in the hallway. And then you freak yourself out more, and your energy explodes more. And then more things start happening. You just get yourself worked into a fucking tizzy. Okay, here's what happens. Your energy is going to get naturally overstimulated as soon as you can look beyond that veil, because it's new and exciting and different. And, whoa, we've never been here before, right? So when you watch something that allows your mind to say, okay, if the veil could be lifted, what would it look like on the other side? And subliminally, you are actually lifting your veil. Okay, so what was your question? Because I had a really fucking solid answer for it.
Oh, do you get creeped out? Do you get creeped out? Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Whew, bazinga. All right. So I used to get really creeped out because once I'd be done watching Ghost Adventures, of course, it's like some demon episode or one that I'm pretty sure I'll be like floating at 2 a.m. or some scary shit that's like not realistic, right? So then I go to bed like super freaked out. And one day I thought, wait a second, like I'm legit, I should be the one seeing all these things. And I had like the most amazing realization to myself. I said, if I'm somebody that's meant to see the other side or have signs and symptoms throughout my life that seeing the other side could be possible, why not just get there so I can see what's going on around me and I don't have to be afraid of anything? So, for example, before I'd kind of hide in my bed and tuck under my covers and make sure my toes weren't sticking out. And now if I think there's something dark like in my laundry room, I grab the fucking broom and start smacking at them, open a door on the other end of the house, everybody out! And it's a whole different ball game, let me tell you.
A lot of mine, honestly, are like super vivid dreams. That's what I get a lot.
Yeah, and you used to have repeating constant nightmares when you were little too, didn't you?
What do you mean used to?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so you haven't turned.
Shit.
Okay,
yeah.
but at least okay. So is it the same repeating one throughout your entire life? What is your zodiac sign?
Virgo.
Of course, you're a Virgo.
Who told you was a Voigo?
Vicky Valancourt.
Of course, you're a Virgo. That makes sense. George, what are you? Please be a Gemini or something.
Cancer.
Of course, you're a Cancer. Okay, so here's why I thought Gemini. I thought Gemini because you're like nice and quiet. And you think about things that you say before you say it. So I'm like, oh, for sure, he's a Gemini. But you're a Can. Do you have a good relationship with your mother?
Yeah, so. Yeah.
Okay, good. At least it's not like bad because then we have trauma to uncover. But I'll take that answer, especially for a Cancer. Okay, great. So, basically, being a Cancer, you are the zodiac sign with the biggest heart. You'll legitimately feel. Oh man, how do I even put this? For example, if you were next. Oh, there's a couple things to unravel here. First thing, you have the biggest heart in all of the zodiac sign. You are the softy, the caring one, the one that can naturally sense and feel other people's feelings. Do you ever hear your name being called when no one else is around, or did this happen when you were younger? Like, for example, you're playing toys when you're younger and you hear your mom call you and you say, "Mom, why'd you call me?" And she says, "I didn't call you."
I can't recall that, no.
Okay, give me 1 second. Do you have a grandmother on the other side?
Yeah.
And does she have curly, poofier hair, and it's like in a couple of layers, and it's kind of bigger toward the back? And does she wear a very simple, like floral printed shirt? And I'm looking for jewelry, but she really doesn't wear any. And I'm seeing her neck, so I think she's probably average or just slimmer. And I feel like she lived to be a little older, probably passes something medically. And then she's showing me in the chest like this, so maybe something that spread toward the end of her life. Does this sound accurate? And she's got a very classic first name.
Yeah.
Like Margaret or something super classic. What's her name?
Grandma.
Grandma. There we go.
Well, my grandmother passed when I was 2. I never even met her.
Do you remember what do you know what she looks like?
Vaguely. I haven't
okay.
seen a picture in at least 20 years.
God, you're not a chick, so it's really hard to like ask you about smells. But do you ever randomly smell this it's like sweet but flowery perfume out of nowhere all the time?
No.
Okay, well then you're useless to me, George.
Oh, sorry.
You're useless to me
Hey,
then,
you
George.
know what's weird though? The person
What?
who's normally in that bottom corner on our show
What?
is Pierce, and he is a Gemini, and he's quiet and stuff like that too.
Oh,
Really?
shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
'Cause
not gonna lie.
George is normally not super quiet.
No.
Yeah, I'm giving George a lot of information. He's just trying to figure me out and square me up. That's what George is doing. George is like, I did not expect this, and I don't really know what's happening here.
He's like, hey, I just got home. I don't know about you
I
guys.
just got home.
George is like, this
Yeah,
is the
dude.
best night after work ever.
you're useless to her, even though we waited so long for you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I love,
Oh,
but it
shit.
doesn't matter because I want you to know that this, you know what, find out the information on your spare time. I really feel like I'm resonating with you. And the moral of the story is you have a female who I feel is your guardian angel, or you have a female who I feel is your grandma, who is your primary guardian angel on the other side. You have a couple of more people. George, you have an old soul, so I wouldn't like put it past, like you actually have like ancestors, and you always like, or actually, I would say that was David. Never mind. Yeah, you're a sweetheart,
like,
George.
So Pierce, like I said, who's normally in there, his grandma wore flower patterns and smelled like perfume a lot.
That's crazy. What are the chances?
Maybe that's his spot.
That's it.
That's his
spot.
usual spot, and that's where
Nobody
I'm
wants
drawn
to talk to you, George, from the other side.
Nobody.
George,
That's weird because
you could-
I and David are now that David moved us back because I had him up here. We're in
Yeah.
our normal spots. George is the only
You
one.
guys
not
are in your normal
Yeah.
spots?
It's just Pierce who's not.
And what are the chances that the exact person that is in normally in your spot, I am like channeling?
Hold on.
And I even see in the comments, my grandma also wore flower patterns, and I smell her perfume all the time.
What was her what was her first name though? Was it something classic? Was it Gertrude? We'll find
Ooh,
out. I'm gonna get a
I
drink.
don't know
You
if
guy
it's
keep talking.
Gertrude. Margaret, something in the lines
Actually,
of
I
Margaret.
think that might be my grandma's first name. Gertrude.
What, Gertrude?
Might
If
be.
it is, I'm gonna pee my pants because that Virgo just clairvoyanted the shit out of you.
That's pretty funny because that was actually Edgar Cayce's wife's name, Gertrude.
Yeah, it was. That was.
Did you know that, Josh?
Yeah, I don't think he can hear. He hasn't put on his headphones.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Josh
Once he
Badger
gets
doesn't give a
ready.
shit.
I didn't get a drink. Sorry.
Hey, guess what? Hey, did you know that Edgar Cayce's wife name is Gertrude?
No.
And you said that out loud like that. Like of all the things that you could have said, Josh. Just
I said it.
saying.
I don't know.
I thought Josh said it.
Oh, no,
getting
I was the
all
one who said
screwed
it.
up. This is
Yeah.
the
I
first
said
day I've met
I
all
said
of you.
Gertrude. What are you talking about?
What?
I was the one who told her that Edgar Cayce's wife was named Gertrude also.
Oh.
Yeah, but Josh is the one that said Gertrude out loud out of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, was your grandma's name Gertrude or something like that?
Yeah, and then but anyways, we're so far beyond it. Let's keep moving on, gentlemen.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's
Okay,
move on.
David,
Yes.
what is your zodiac sign? I'm just curious.
You're the
Yes.
same. Well, hold on. Are
Okay.
you the same as?
I'm really bad at guessing. No, what? No, you're not a Cancer. There's no way.
No, I think he's either a Virgo or a
I'm
Leo.
Don't tell me.
Josh,
Don't
she
tell
asked
me,
me.
don't tell me, don't
So,
tell me.
Josh, she asked me. So, shut it.
Josh,
I don't remember.
fuck up.
I
We're
don't
talking
remember.
to David.
I don't remember anyway.
Okay, hold on, David.
Josh, couldn't you figure out just by knowing his birthday? Do you know his birthday?
I don't know his birthday.
I don't know
Hey,
the dates.
John.
I don't know the dates when they change over.
What?
It's
Like when
time.
it changes from. Okay, hold on.
What?
Like
David, you'd make
is it
a
like
good
the 20
Aries.
I know. I see what
the
you're saying.
28th or something. You know.
Yeah.
You'd make a good Aries. You'd make a good Leo.
I am a Leo.
Oh, are you? Hell yeah! Okay, great. Okay, great. Good. I read that pretty right then. So Leo is all about good and pride and like. Do you take care of family, David? You're
Yeah.
very loving.
That's
Leo.
one way of saying it. That's one
Well,
way of
without
saying I
giving-
still live with my parents.
Well, helping take care of family on a mental health level is important too, Josh. Anyways, what the fuck was I gonna say?
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Yeah. Shh. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, you have a couple people immediately over on the other side. You have a younger lady. You have a grandma-looking lady. You have a lady that's like just younger than her, and you also have a male on the other side. And the only thing I can really see is that he is got his shirt tucked in. But not like super fancy, like casual tucked in. He's just wearing jeans, and I feel that he may have served. Does this make sense to you, David?
trying to think. I know I have a couple people in mind, but if you gave me a bit more detail, I think I'll let you know who they are.
Okay, which person, like the female or male?
The male.
Okay, let's see.
Let's start with the male first.
Okay, so the young, no. The male, I don't know where I was even going. The male, asking about himself. He's standing up straight. That's what I'm seeing so far. Hold on. He's older. I would say, man, 50s, 60s probably. And I'm asking him what his name is. And it's strong and classic. Maybe like a David or a Robert or something like that.
Or Fred.
Yep, that's also strong and classic. Does he have a lady? Is he connected to a lady that's also on the? Does he have a significant other on the other side too?
Both my uncle Fred and my grandmother passed in the recent years. Like maybe they passed within a year of each other.
And were they blood related to each other?
Yes, that was my grandmother's first son.
And your grandmother's over there.
Yes.
These are the two main people that are coming through for you now. For some reason, which one do I want to focus on? The grandma. Well, you're a dude, so you probably didn't get jewelry. Did she pass down jewelry for you guys?
I took some of her jewelry after the end of it because I have a bracelet and some earrings of hers.
Okay, perfect. So she starts talking about jewelry. So this is how the grandma wants to come through and identify herself to you. Also, I can't tell which one, but you have had dreams. And I want to say it's grandma because that's when she came in, like right off the bat. You've had a couple of dreams of grandma since she's passed, correct?
I've had dreams of every person that's passed.
Okay, perfect. I was like, I don't even know who I want to put my finger on, but here we go. Okay, so they want to let you know that when you dream of these loved ones on the other side, like when you go to sleep and they visit you, they want you to know right here, right now, that is always considered a visitation. So when and you get repeating numbers on the clock all the time, like 1111, 222, these type of things, right?
333.
Okay, perfect. That's a very spiritual number. What are the chances you have 3 spirit guides on the other side as well? Oh my gosh, this is great. Okay, so they will also want you to know that in addition to these dreams, they come in together. They also want you to know that they're responsible for these repeating numbers on the clock that you see too. And when you see these repeating numbers on the clock, it's kind of like it's not nothing like, but it's kind of like Morse code from the spiritual realm. It's actually called angel numbers and they all mean something. But yeah, so you're getting your communication. That's who you had come through on the other side for you. Bam.
Yeah, I always have dreams of them. I always consider it a visitation too, because it's always nice to see my dead relatives and loved ones that I don't get to see anymore. Like,
right. And I mean, spirit doesn't waste their time. You know, if they're visiting you, then they're saying hi to you and they're putting their energy into making sure that you see them and that you know that they're there. And that doesn't go unrecognized for all of us that miss them and want to see them too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember them vividly, all the dreams that I have.
Wow. And that's probably, and the fact that, you know, the second you channel a psychic over distance, we had never met before or had a phone call or nothing before this exactly. And the first thing they want you to know is that all your dreams are real. Then most likely they're sitting here telling you that, hey, if you want to tap into the spiritual realm or you want to do your own communicating, then this is where you're going to access it through your sleep and a way that you can get them to visit you more is simply by asking specific loved ones to visit you in dreams before you go to bed at night. That helps.
Okay.
Perfect. There you go.
I would like to do that. Yeah.
There's a lot of chat, and I'm sure you guys understand why I don't want to interrupt. But Ruby asks, they see 9/11, 9/11, 9/11 over and over and over all the time. What do you think that means?
So nines, if I'm putting those together, I'm seeing 2 numbers. I'm seeing 3 numbers. I'm seeing 9s and 2 1s, or I'm seeing 9s and the number 11. But either way, 9s is a number of fate. It's saying like, hey, you've almost made it through that finish line. You're so close to accomplishing your goals. And 1s are a huge symbol of. Now, when I think of 1s and 11s, I always think like on the straight and narrow. Okay, so I always think when you receive a lot of 111, when you receive a lot of angel numbers, that means you're on the right path. It's basically spirit saying, hey, I'm here, like keep on going, you're going the right direction. So for the fact that that you get a number of fate before, hey, you're on the right path, that kind of shows me that you're getting a constant reminder that you're on your soul's highest journey if I'm really looking into things. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. I like it. So you also, you and David talked about cards before we went live. So you do tarot cards as well?
I do. I read tarot. I use them. Tarot is a good tool. I think that anybody can read tarot. You don't have to have any special magical abilities in order to read tarot cards. But yeah, I like to think of tarot cards as when I use them for channeling, it's like 78 little doors into somebody's life. And what I do is I use it as a direction to go in. So I shuffle till it feels right. I grab a card, and then I let that card take my clairvoyant mind and morph it into whatever picture it likes, and then I translate. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you guys thoroughly overwhelmed?
No, I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah, I'm pretty overwhelmed. It was just kind of crazy right now.
You're overwhelmed, David?
A
This
little
is
bit.
your
I mean,
show,
like,
man. I feel like
David
I'm
did not expect to, like, even though most people, when they think they're going to get a good medium on, they expect to skim the surface and maybe have a glimmer of hope that somehow somebody can access it truthfully. A lot of people don't expect to, like, thousands of miles away in 5 minutes, just like dissect people on the other side and know 10 things about your life. That just doesn't happen in the logical world. So most people that come on, like, you know, paranormal, et cetera, even if you've been studying it for a long time, you see it actually happen, and it just rocks your shit sometimes, honestly. I thought it was going to be George, but it was David.
So, you notice that I asked you about my sister and I let you read these guys. I'm not that type of person who's very curious about that. And even with, so like, what about death? I'm sure you get that question all the time, right? When am I going to die? That type of stuff. Is that what you look into for yourself? Like, do you know much about your own death?
So here is a huge thing that I tell people that, because I actually get that a lot.
I'm sure that'd be one of the number one questions. Am I going to find love? When am I going to die? Right? Like,
right. When am I going to find love? When am I going to die? Okay. First thing, I can see, for example, every single choice. Okay, pause. Let's rewind. Think of your every environment that you walk into, like, turn the dressers and lamps into equations and numbers, and every move you make and every number you add or change or figure out is another step to the equation. You could add these 3 numbers over here and be in a whole different direction than what you thought your end goal was, or what direction you thought you were going in. So, for example, if I were to open up your energy and say, okay, Josh, if it was predetermined that you were going to die, which it isn't, if it is currently, oh yeah, I'm going to freak you out a little bit. It got to give you a stress a little bit. If it is predetermined that you are going to pass and it's going to happen, no, I wouldn't say, hey, Josh, April, whatever. Like, that's not what
Why do you got to say the month we're currently in?
I know. Isn't that great? I'm trying to freak you out. You're so into what I'm saying right now. I'm like, I'm going to freak all, because I know that you're the one that's going to go to bed, like, under the covers with your toes tucked in.
She's freaking you out because she knows you're a bitch.
Sure. No, I do. So I do. The only reason, like, sometimes I struggle with more the idea of my own mortality, or being insignificant in this giant universe. But I don't really think I'm afraid of dying.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let's say I go tell Joe Schmo, right? I go tell Joe Schmo, hey, Joe Schmo, you're going to die tomorrow in a car wreck. It's predetermined. There's nothing you can do about it. You'll die tomorrow when you go to the grocery store at 2:30 p.m., right? Joe says, fuck that. I am staying home. If I don't drive to the grocery store, there is no way that I could die in a car accident at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. So he stays home, and then his furnace blows up, his house sets on fire, and he murders his whole family.
So it's like Final Destination.
So there is a.
You know what I'm saying? So the reason that you can't just go around telling people how they die is because then they're gonna fuck up their own karma. If you tell them, see, for example, if I pulled you up in a reading and I saw that it was possible, like, there was one path, if you made such and such choices where it might not last as long as the one where finding your soul's purpose goes, right? Because that's the longest life you can live. Anyways, so if I saw that there was a possibility for you to go this path, while I was channeling you and giving you your reading and figuring this out, I wouldn't say, hey, if you could take a right turn to Walmart tomorrow, you're going to fucking be off. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I would then allow you to establish your own power. I would give you a reading that would change the way you approach your life. I would show you the potential that you could reach, and I would do my best to empower you to get there, to steer you on that path. So can I see when people are going to die? Yes. Can I go around telling everybody? Well, it's one of those rules, you know, like there are rules in doing this. Like if I want to keep all my shit square, I got to work with karma, and I can't go around being like, you're going to fucking die, you're going to fucking die, you're going to fucking die, because that's terrifying, you know?
Not really.
So
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I actually do have a question. So,
Go.
well, okay, so there's two things. I don't know why, but I've always felt like I'm going to die sometime in my 40s, but I've never said and told anybody that. But when I turned 26, when I was at the bar, there was a girl that came up to me, and out of nowhere, she just said that I feel like you're going to die around the age of 40. And I think the purpose of you dying is you're going to be set up by either the person that you marry or, you know, the girl that you fall in love with or whatever. I'm like, well, that's easy. I'm not going to fall in love. It's so stupid. Is that inaccurate?
This could be accurate in this sense. Remember when we were talking about past lives? Well, maybe you have a past life that only lived so long. Maybe you went through a horrible trauma, you failed, you offed yourself, and then the next time you go in, you have to relive that trauma and reaccomplish that trauma for your soul to like level up, for your soul to accomplish that in that lifetime. So for example, let's say you have some, okay, so if she identified herself as a psychic, whatever, but let's say someone just approached you, they had no idea, they're like, they specialize in past live readings, and they just feel so compelled to tell you that in the last 2 lives, you have potentially died early in your 40s due to loss or heartbreak. So when you think, oh, I'm never going to get in a relationship, well, then we'll just pluck off one of your fucking family members because you weren't living your life, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but oh yeah, no. So when somebody that maybe comes up to you that maybe reads past lives, maybe in the last 2 lives you have passed early because of heartbreak or loss in some way, and in some way the decisions you made ended your life, you could be back in this lifetime to accomplish that goal. And if you have somebody that's really intuitive and approaches you and that's what they specialize in, or that's what they focus, I'm going to see all your dead people, okay? I ain't going to see that you're going to die when you're 45 right away off the bat, okay? Because I specialize in dead people. So for somebody that specializes in like psychic or past life, they're like, oh my gosh, you need this message. In your 40s, you're going to have heartbreak. You're already thinking about it. You're already waiting for it. Your soul's been through it 2 past lifetimes. You've got it this time. Life number 3, third time's the charm, right? You've got this. And now you're hyper aware that the way in a relationship somehow in your 40s could emotionally devastate you to the point of taking your life. And the whole entire you building up to it, being so nervous about it, spending so much of your life like bracing yourself to not have it happen, will be that one little thing when you're 40 and that moment does come and it goes boop, this is the point where I need to not let this take my life. And then simply when you get to that situation and it actually happens, you will just act a different way, and you will live, and you will have a longer life, and you will accomplish it, and you will have known that that's going to be the hardest thing you'll ever have to get through. And how many people get that fucking heads up in their life? That's what I have to ask you.
Yeah, David,
You know what I'm
that was
saying?
unsolicited too? She just, random person walked up to you and told you that?
Yeah. She
But
just
doesn't that make sense why she could feel that? Because, and if it is like you say it is, you live your life, you download, you re-download and take it with you. Somebody that can accurately read your energy, had that happened, she could sense that. I believe everything happens for a reason. She came up to you. You're like, holy shit, this psychic said I might die when I'm 40. And I thought I might die in my 40. Let me tell you, if you don't stress yourself out to Neverland, okay? When this time approaches, when you hit 40, you're like, here fucking
honestly,
comes somewhere. It's gonna
I kind of
happen.
want come now. Like, I'm fucking over it.
Dude,
Unplug.
Now
you're
you
not making
know.
it to 40.
Right. But look at how much, like, your soul went in with one mission. We're going to die when we're 40, and that's not going to happen. And if you can accomplish that, and you can keep yourself mentally healthy enough to accomplish a mission you've been sent here to do 3 times over, then you finally pass, and you finally don't have to re-go through that. It could be your wise soul, David, many lifetimes saying, okay, this is what I'm here to accomplish.
I complete the task. I don't have to come back here and live any more lives ever again.
If that's what
She already
you
said
choose.
you could choose
however,
if you choose.
However,
you,
you could find out just having the love of your life. You could live together, and then she gets to the other side and goes, "Honey, please, can we go again?" You're like, "God dang it," and then you have to go again.
I'll divorce on the other side. Fuck
I
that.
could tell you, David. I could tell you right now is going to cause you to end your life. When you're past 40, you're going to finally meet Johnny Depp, and he's going to say, "Get away from me, creep," and then you're just going to fucking go home. Yeah, done.
Or Johnny Depp will. If Johnny Depp visits you in a dream by the time you're 45 and says, "Come to the other side, join me," it's a lie. Okay, do not do it for that reason. That is negative energy, and you need some sage, my friend. You need some sage.
Oh shit! Yeah. So, what does that really do, sage?
Okay, so sage is beautiful. Okay, so sage is like a one-size-fits-all clearing and cleansing tool. Not only is it actually beneficial in removing some airborne bacteria in your environment, but think of the smoke that comes off of sage as like spiritual water that clears and cleanses your home of any sort of... It neutralizes all energy in a room. Basically, cleanses it, clears it, washes it out. So yeah, that's basically.
Is it weird that I don't like the smell of sage? Like, it kind of bothers me.
Because you don't want to be cleansed because you're fucking evil.
Yeah.
So first of all, sage smells like shit. I mean, you're burning a plant. I mean, it's not going to smell fabulous, but no, it really does stink. The smell wears off quickly, but it's putrid for the first couple times. But like, if you find yourself having anger issues, like if you light the sage and like glaze over, you may have a problem.
So somebody asked in chat, I think it was Chantel, what SG means. So SG, Speak as a Gentleman, it's our flagship podcast. This is Nevermore Narrative, which is a sub-podcast, which Kato is awesome for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes. I'm so glad I was able to get on with you guys. And
since we got 9 minutes left, I'm saying let's just nix the whole Edgar Cayce thing. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Kato was too.
I bring a lot to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really just we were just gonna hang out and not put so much pressure on you, but it feels like
this is pretty low pressure. What'd you say?
I was like, I couldn't help. I wanted to get to know more about you, like how this all came about and everything.
So, Kato, go ahead and plug your. I mean, we're not saying goodbye yet, but how do we find you?
So you can find me at katothemedium.com. You can also find me facebook.com/Kato, Kato the Medium. I got some merch, and you can find some t-shirts, decals, sweatshirts on the website. I do private lives, which is a group of 20. I teach Reiki. So as long as you've got me on Facebook, facebook.com/Kato the Medium, you should be able to find me. And if anyone has questions, go to katothemedium.com and you can find me there.
Angela says we all have great chemistry. We should start a show together.
Oh my gosh, It could be a thing. Let's go ghost hunting. You guys are like 2 hours behind me. Fuck that.
Yeah,
too late.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Me
I
and
can't
David,
stay up this
went
late.
to what was it? Mount Rubidoux.
Mount Rubidoux,
right?
yeah.
So we went up to this place called Mount Rubidoux. It's like this mountain, and there was like these bridges and shit there. We went under this bridge, and we had like an old fucking Nokia phone, but it had the record. So we were talking. We were like, is anybody here? And we were talking and stuff like that. And like you could barely hear it, but someone was like, "Get out!" And then
First of all, you're under a bridge. Was there also? I know this sounds like a stupid question, but was there also water under this bridge?
No, it was just a pathway. It wasn't a water bridge.
It was like a paved pathway, and there was like
I feel like you guys knew that you were going to get a recording before you even did it.
So we used to be real weird back in the day, and we used to go to all these places we weren't supposed to go to. We went to Black Star Canyon, which is a place you're really not supposed to go to.
Yeah.
We got kicked out like immediately. So.
Look at you guys. You're like, yeah.
Dude, it was pretty crazy. There was like
You're
a huge cross.
So
the other Mount Rubidoux, there was a huge cross on the top of the hill and stuff, but we climbed all the way up it, and we were just like recording the entire time. But we scrubbed through the recordings, and that's when we actually heard something. It's pretty crazy.
What's crazy about that is like there's a really old graveyard at the base of this mountain, like down the street from the mountain. You could see when you climb up, like not even halfway, you could see a really good view of the graveyard, and it's really beautiful.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah. It was
Okay,
pretty cool.
so the first thing with underneath the bridge, you guys have actually been to like legitimately haunted places together. David, you have. Have any of you actually used a board?
Oh yeah, I did. No thanks. So I did. We used one at my old house.
David, did you?
Never. I've never touched one. I don't want
Okay,
to.
then I'm definitely talking to Josh.
No,
Okay, keep
don't
going.
Do that. Don't want to do that.
Keep going.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I was probably like 10 years old. We used one.
Was someone else doing it and you were just accompanying?
It depends. So
Was it like two or
were
three
different-
other ladies?
There were 2 different times. One time we did it. I mean, it was me, my brother, and my sister. I think maybe,
One of them,
maybe my
you
mom.
burn the board once and then you trashed it once, right?
I do know that it was, yeah. Do know that it was thrown away. I think my parents went to an extreme. So there was one time where they were using the board, they were asking these questions, and like the board, like according to them anyway, the board like stuck to the wall, like fucking flew up and stuck to the wall, and like they tried to get rid of it. They couldn't ever fucking get rid of the board. Myself, we had some stuff that we had to write down and translate because it wasn't making any sense, but it was in another language, and we translated it out. And it was some kid.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't
Sorry.
say it. So
I don't want to talk to him. He used to fucking do shit in my house all the time.
He's I found you again.
Fuck
So
that
remember
kid.
me?
And this happened after the board?
So yes.
Was
after
it in a house that you grew up in that you used to live in?
No, because I never grew up in a house. We moved a lot. My dad lived in a house for a long time. My dad's
Okay, here's
house
what
was
I'm
super
asking you,
creepy.
which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with that answer because here's what I'm about to ask you. That pretty much answers my question. Have you had the same or similar reoccurring experiences every time that you move?
I don't know what that means. That's really
Have
vague.
you for every time
Oh, every time I
every
move
place that
houses.
you've lived, you've experienced paranormal activity?
Some places were stronger than others. Mostly my dad's place that he lived in for a long time. My mom's house, not so much. It was only that one place that we did the Ouija board in, and it fucking got crazy before she got it to go away.
Have you ever had an out-of-body experience, which can...
So by out-of-body experience, I would assume you're associating it with those vivid dreams that I would have.
I
a lot
am
of it's
either
me
talking about you are either seeing yourself from like the ceiling looking down at your physical self, or you experience sleep paralysis, which means your eyes wake up and your body doesn't follow right away.
Sleep paralysis used to have all the time as a kid. Out of body, yeah. Once again, it hasn't been the worst one, and it's probably been since I was like 18. So it's been like 12 years since.
Do you ever have? Okay, so did you used to, when this was really active, did you used to dream about like different random places of the world that you'd never been to?
Yeah, I mean I still kind of do that now.
Like you, okay. I think that you have an ability. Okay, so first of all, you don't have an attachment at all because you're very naturally deflective of negative and malevolent energy. But I want to tell you, just for your record, Josh, you have witnessed, been around, been in the environment of malevolent energy. Came from the boards, did not follow you from the boards. That's why the board stuck out at me. I'm actually a studying demonologist too, so trust me, I know. Okay, so, but I also feel that you have this ability. Okay, and now I have to ask you something else that's really random. Do you find that, is it easy or difficult for you to find things that are lost?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay, that just solves it then. So I think that you actually have an intuitive ability, which I don't have. I think it's awesome, but I don't even have this intuitive ability. And it's called being able to astral project. And when you're able to astral project, it means that this would go along with you having lots and lots of lifetimes. When you're able to astral project, it actually means that you can separate your energy body from your physical body. And when you do this by accident, like when you accidentally see dead people, oops, right? And when you accidentally separate your energy body and your physical body, it'll appear to be like out-of-body experiences or sleep paralysis. Mm-hmm. So for example, let's say you're going to bed and you're your physical body isn't looking, okay? Your energy fucking takes off to Egypt for a road trip. That's why you dream that you're in random different places, right? And then the reason you have sleep paralysis is like, let's say you're off in Egypt and you lose track of the time, right? So then all of a sudden your physical body's like, well, it's 7:30, time to get up per usual, right? And so your body's like, okay, start reeling in that energy body, which is floating in from stage left to come back to you, right? To give you consciousness when your physical body wakes up. So if your physical body is stimulated, maybe by something you're in your environment or whatever it is, and your physical body actually wakes up before your energy body has a chance to come back and reattach and download, your eyes open and your physical body registers everything with your third eye still wandering in the spiritual realm and ripped right open. So it feels very intense. And I think that's why you have your sleep paralysis, why you randomly misfire and astral project all the time, and why you are exposed to different realms throughout your entire life, because that's what a Ouija board does.
So I could tell you that, what's it called? Insidious is one of my favorite movies, and I don't want to do that anymore. So how do I shut it off? Because I don't want someone else to take my fucking body.
Okay, so that actually is not possible unless you specifically allow a spirit to take over your physical energy. But a natural fear is like, what if I can't get back fast enough and somebody else jumps in my place? You're actually connected by this bright white and silver umbilical cord. Like, your energy is designed for your physical body unless you grant permission and like, oh, you can have it, you know, and you like disconnect and sever your life. Something cannot take its place, which is why when like demonic energy or negative or those types of energies get into a human body, their goal is to sever the life and nothing else, because if you sever that connection, you can't keep healing other people. Makes sense? Yeah. So their goal isn't to like get in your life and find a way to like, you know, make themselves a ham sandwich or anything. Their goal is to get in your life and fucking just off you, because that's the whole point, is making you have to restart before you accomplish your soul's higher purpose and your soul's
Did that
goals.
happen to me then? Like, what the fuck?
What do you mean?
What, David?
Like, with the sleep paralysis thing, because like it happens to me a lot too, and I always tend to fight it off.
It could very well be, because here's something you have to remember. You guys are all friends, and birds of a feather flock together. It could very well be that you share similar intuitive abilities, but before tonight, you guys never thought that you could be special in that way, or you could even have your own power. And now you guys have been exposed to such a different way of looking and thinking and feeling that you guys are never going to be able to unsee it. Look at George down there. He's just like, blink, blink, blink. Take it in, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
information.
changes your lives once you're exposed to it, and once it's like, holy shit, that's real, it's hard to look away from. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's what I got for you guys tonight.
Hell yeah. Beautiful.
Right.
We wrapped
Sweet.
up right at an hour and 2. That was great.
Woohoo!
So
Yeah.
anyway, oh wait, David, you wrap up. This is your show. So normally,
Yeah,
Speak as a Gentleman layout's normally the same, and I'm up here hosting the show, so I need to just back off. This is David's show, Nevermore Narrative.
Yeah. Well, we had the 4 spots because George wanted to be in it too. We're like, fuck it, come on. So,
I
yeah.
just loved how you guys chose to match my chair. That's considerate and very gentlemanly of all of you.
Oh, yeah. That's
We
why
knew
we're
it was
called the
gonna
Speakeasy
happen.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
It's like you're psychic or something. It's like a big show full of tons of psychics. How awesome is this?
So obviously we didn't quite get a chance to talk about Edgar Cayce, but I really enjoyed this time with Kato. I really appreciate you coming on the show, and it was a lot of fun talking to you. And
I'm
Yeah,
glad
thank
I was
you.
able to. That's what I'm here for. See now I've given you guys a different perspective to view the whole world from. So who knows what study you'll do, what you'll be passionate about, if you'll go forward in this, and what kind of healer that like the things that you've gone through have made you guys in your life. So now you can think about that and like, oh my God, what is my soul's higher purpose? And rekindle your power and purpose. And it just goes so much farther. The ripple effect of being a genuine psychic medium, like it's just amazing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I'm just going to
And
bury
that's-
it deep down inside and never bring it up again.
Never bring it up
All right,
again.
so we have our normal show, Speakeasy Gentlemen, and then
What
this
do we
is
got?
our Nevermore Narrative, or youtube.com/Pajaj Studios, where you find us, or facebook.com at the Speakeasy Gentlemen. And then Kato, one more time, go ahead and plug your links.
Okay, perfect. So you can find me. So I'm live every single Wednesday and Sunday. The times are a little different now that we're all stuck in quarantine together, but go ahead and follow my page, like it, follow it, so you get all my updates. You can find me at facebook.com/Kato, Kato the Medium, and you can also find me at katothemedium.com. And then what else? Like pricing. That's a huge question. What are your prices? You charge up the ass? Nope. I am the most accurate, but yet I'm like the cheapest medium you're ever going to find. Prices are black and white on my website. You want to find live readings of me talking to people other than just this? I've got hundreds on my page. Check me out. Let's go places.
Great.
That's how I feel.
Thank you so much again, Kato.
All right, guys, I'm going to jump off of this. Thank you so much for
Have a good
having
night.
me on. You have
Thank
a
you.
great rest of your night.
Thank you.